Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining us again for the LRVS 22. For this section, we have a veteran with nearly 2 decades of experience, and it's a pleasure to introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, Adrian Messer, who is the Vice President of Executive Services at Progressive Reliability. He will be challenging us to comprehend reliability for hiring. The answers are in plain sight. And without further ado, I'm going to pass over the mic and let Adrian give his conversation and his talk.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. It's quite an honor to be a part of this event. I've known a lot of the other presenters over the years, so it's been a great event so far, and I hope you all are enjoying yourselves and learning a lot. That's the most important thing, is being able to come to an event like this, learn some things, and then, takes and put some action to that knowledge once you're back in your plant or facility to hopefully make some improvements and improve reliability in your respective places of work. So again, I'm Adrian Messer with Progressive Reliability. Fairly new to Progressive Reliability as of about 5 or 6 months ago, but I've been in the industry for about 19 years. So just wanted to share some thoughts with you about, talent and recruitment and finding the right people for your needs. I know for a lot of places, it's a big challenge that they deal with on a regular basis, is just how do we find and how do we bring in highly qualified and skilled reliability engineers and skilled trades workers. A little bit about Progressive Reliability first. If you're not familiar with us, we are a U.S.-based talent acquisition and staff augmentation company. So we work strictly within the maintenance and reliability space to fill specific M&R positions like reliability engineers, maintenance managers, maintenance supervisors. We've done some project manager type positions. We've done some field service engineers, and even all the way to, contract hourly and contract, maintenance techs and maintenance mechanics. So again, we're strictly within the maintenance reliability space. We have a really good process. So when our recruiters go out and do a search, before we ever present a candidate to the company that we're working for, they're going to go through a highly vetted and highly screened process. So we're going to make sure that they can do the things that they say that they can do on their resume. So from the get-go, the people that we would present to a company that we're working for to fill jobs for, the candidate is going to be highly qualified, and they would have already been vetted at least once throughout that process. So wanted to start out a little bit here with, just kind of give you some statistics here and some things to think about. Of course, all this you can find online. And if you're in the maintenance and reliability space, you're probably familiar with some of these sources. This study here was done in 2019 from Plant Services. where 81% of the people that responded to their survey said that their biggest challenge, they indicated that finding skilled workers to fill open positions was their biggest need or biggest struggle. Next highest on that list was knowledge capture and transfer. And then third was retraining and upskilling their existing workforce. So, with all the latest buzzwords in our industry, IoT, AI, all these new types of things, digital twins, you would think that that would be somewhere at the top of the list. Well, actually, it's not. I guess our greatest asset, our people, that was a biggest concern in all three of those the top three responses there. Another study, manufacturing and talent study done by Deloitte, a little more recent, where, again, 12% greater challenge than in just a couple of years past of finding qualified talent. That same study also referenced that there's expected to be 2.1 million unfilled manufacturing jobs by 2030. So again, this just kind of further adds to the fact that, we've got a talent shortage, we've got a talent gap, we've got a skilled trades crisis, if you will. Now, that same study by Deloitte also referenced that during the pandemic, the U.S., we lost about 1.4 million manufacturing jobs. Now, we've gained some of that back and we're kind of trending in the right direction now, but there's still a gap of around 600,000 manufacturing workers. So not only even before the pandemic, we were struggling trying to find good quality talent, good quality people. But now, after, post-pandemic, if you will, now we're struggling to get those people back into the workforce. So another great place to reference and look for material is also the National Association of Manufacturers, the NAM.org. This is their first quarter report. So again, you can find this out there. And I won't read all this, but we talk about, supply chain issues, being able to meet capacity, meet demand. In addition to that, they also referenced in their report, workforce shortages, finding sufficient workers. And then, in that same study, they had 79% of their people that responded cited the inability to attract and retain a quality workforce into being able to meet demand, meet capacity. So not only, again, are we having trouble getting parts, getting things that we need in order to make our products that we need to get out to our customers, but now we can't even find the people to come in and build and manufacture those components and those products. So we've got all these challenges that we're faced with. We've got lack of skilled workers, lack of manufacturing workers, getting people back to work, new methodology. So I mentioned briefly, IIoT, increased automation. All of those require new skill sets that we're going to have to train and develop our existing workforce to accommodate and work with. That's going to require new skill sets, combined with old hiring practices. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go through this presentation. And then, just continued reactivity in maintenance and reliability, where there's a lot of companies out there that say, oh, we're going to say that we do reliability or we are reliable. But when it comes down to it, they just can't get out of the reactive cycle that they're in. So again, it's one thing to say that you've got a reliability program, but it's another to actually put action on that and do reliability. But, really, it's not all doom and gloom. And when I started in this, maintenance and reliability talent and staff augmentation segment of our industry, I would have said the same thing. There's, all these crises that are going on around us. But, one thing that I found is, there's maintenance and reliability talent out there. You just have to know how and where to find them. And we've had a lot of success over the last few months with filling jobs for our customers, the people that we're working for. So there's talent out there. Again, you just got to know how and where to find them. And one thing that I've always noticed in our industry, talent doesn't leave, it migrates. It just goes, company to company, plant to plant, So there's always people moving around in the industry, and there are lots of highly qualified, good people out there. So there are more good job openings out there than qualified people. So just simply, understanding the right environment to grow your skill set and the experience, and maybe there's a skill set that you want to learn and to be able to do, but you got to put yourself into a place where you can grow and develop and thrive. So, we've got to get back to the basics. So, if you want to hire reliably, you've got to own reliability. So, again, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another to actually do it. So, the foundational elements of reliability have got to be in place. So, it's no different than people who want to be quick to be attracted to the new shiny toy or the new shiny sensor or the new shiny software that's out there that's going to solve all of our reliability problems. But if we don't have our planning and scheduling right, if we don't have our MRO storeroom, firmly in shape and in place and the way that it should be, if we don't have our CMMS in proper order, if it's garbage in, garbage out. So again, we've got to have these foundational elements in place, regardless of what kind of initiative you're going to implement before we can expect to get good results out of that. So, I always say that reliability has to become a part of your culture, just like safety and quality. We're always quick to talk about safety, and that's important. We're always quick to talk about quality, and that's important if you want to stay in business. But we've also got to ingrain reliability into our culture and make that just a part of who you are. And not just say it, but also take action and do it. So just a few things here on, my thoughts on being in maintenance reliability talent and staff augmentation over the last few months. Again, there are more maintenance and reliability professionals out there than I ever realized. But in most cases, it's an outdated hiring process that's the biggest challenge. So one of my biggest complaints, if you will, or issues that I hear from companies that I speak with on a daily basis, they just say, hey, our internal recruitment, our internal HR, we're just not finding the right people. So if you want to find good, highly qualified technical people, you've got to utilize a highly qualified technical resource to be able to find those types of people. So traditional recruitment processes will not work in the current job market. Time is of the essence. So I've got here, time kills all deals. So if you've got a candidate and it's been more than 24 to 48 hours since that person has been contacted about, maybe the status of a job or scheduling an interview, scheduling an on-site, have that person come into your plant facility, you're going to run the risk of losing that person. People, the talented people, the good people out there, they have options and they know they have options. But again, if there's been no contact or if they've heard nothing from you within 24 to 48 hours, you run the risk of that person taking another offer because they do have options in this current job market. So the people that we're talking to, we see where, job security is very high, but job satisfaction is very low. So there's a lot of people out there currently who are, just kind of riding it out where they are. They're waiting for the right opportunity to come along where they're going to be a good fit for their needs, wants, and qualifications. They're going to be a good fit for the environment that they're going to go to work in. So a lot of people out there, though, they're just riding it out. They're just, going in, doing what they're supposed to be doing, just working through it. And they're being patient, and they should, because again, there are lots of opportunities out there. And for the people that are in that situation, their job security is very high. They're not going to be let go. They're not going to, they're just waiting for the right opportunity, if you will. So their job security is high, but the satisfaction with where they currently are is very low. So, there's some people out there in those situations where they're waiting to go to work for a company just to have that experience on their resume. But a lot of them, the majority of them, are looking for something more long term where they can grow, develop, and thrive. And again, be somewhere where they can, implement these reliability initiatives and really make some progress and make some headway and feel like they're doing meaningful work. Now, this one should have been a no-brainer to me, but it became very evident pretty quickly for me that in many of my discussions with a lot of the people that I talked to initially, inevitably the discussion came around to culture. And I'm seeing that culture, so, where this employee works, the environment where they're working, is a much bigger issue than pay. I'm hearing anything from dissatisfaction with work-life balance. That's been a big one. Leadership who doesn't listen, no support for reliability initiatives. Again, just kind of saying that we do reliability, but there's really no true reliability being done. Changes being made for just simply the sake of change with no coaching, planning, or involvement for the people that are affected by that change. In a couple of cases, I've seen where, hey, they're just in an unsafe work environment where safety is not a high priority. But for those that are patient and waiting for the right opportunity, they are being rewarded. We're seeing people make moves on average for up to 20% more pay, and then along with a better work-life balance. So again, there are rewards out there for people who are patient, wait for the right opportunity. And then again, they get the increase in pay, but then more importantly, they also get put into an environment to where, they can thrive and they're in the right kind of culture. So we're seeing that a lot. So a lot of discussions centered around culture. Now, I throw this term out there, headhunting, but I've been out and about in a few conferences recently, and when I tell people what I'm doing now, they say, "Oh, you're a headhunter." Well, no, I'm not, or we're not. Headhunting is much different than talent management or career coaching. Sometimes people just want someone to talk to. They just need some advice. They just need an ear to listen. So, been doing a lot of that, and that's perfectly fine with me because that keeps me in tune with the challenges and the struggles that are in the current job market. But talent management is more proactive, where headhunting is more reactive. Talent managers, career coaches, I mean, they're going to work in the candidate's best interest first, and then fully understand that person's unique situation. And then, we do the same thing. I'll throw this out there. We also do the same thing for companies. So when we have companies contact us to use our services to fill positions for them, we want to vet them as well. We don't want to put a highly qualified, highly talented M&R professional in a culture that is reactive or in a culture where, it's just not going to be a good fit for them. So we in turn will also vet and question the companies that we're going to go to work for. But, really, again, it's just about being a trusted advisor, having a good relationship, and kind of working on that candidate's best interests. That way we can put them somewhere where they're going to be a good fit all around. The pay is going to be right. The work-life balance is going to be right. The culture is going to be right. So that's really, something to consider if you're out using the services of a recruiting firm to help you find and land your next opportunity. So just, some final thoughts that I wanted to kind of put together here. If there was a word that we could use for the current job market, so 2022 and beyond, it's adaptability. And that's, just being able to adjust, to learn new skills in response to the changing environment, the way things are, the current conditions, current environments. we are in a paradigm shift, if you will, with a lot of things in our industry. COVID brought a lot of that to light, and we're starting to see a lot of the ways that we do business. We've got to change that, not only due to the supply chain, but in addition to these new ways that we have to work with people, and the new ways that we have to find and recruit the people that are going to help us launch ourselves beyond now COVID, beyond these supply chains issues, beyond now to the new ways that we're doing business globally. So all of us have to learn and be able to adapt to new methods, new ways of doing business, and working with new technologies, and improving our human capabilities. Our human capabilities, that's our own kind of unique knowledge and skill set, personal attributes. So all of that combined will just help us to be better moving forward through all these challenges that we're looking at and faced with. And remember, look towards the transition. We know there's problems out there, but it's time to stop talking about the problems and start looking for solutions. And that all starts within each one of us. Leadership. As leaders, I feel like leaders should do a self-evaluation of themselves and modify their leadership styles to help meet the needs of the current workforce. If you're in an environment and you're a leader and you're seeing constant turnover, constant revolving door, constant people leaving, continued reactivity, it's probably time to do some sort of self-evaluation on yourself to determine, why are we having so much turnover? Why are people leaving? And, that's going to require some feedback on you. So you've got to be able to accept that feedback and take that feedback for what it is, and improve yourself. So again, if there's ever a time that we as leaders need to do that, it's now. And then this is just going to further help to improve the culture within your facility, the morale, and you're going to be able to attract and then retain the talented level of people that you need in your workforce. I'd also say to evaluate your own hiring process. So I talked about time. Time is going to kill the deal if it's been longer than 24 to 48 hours that you've had contact with that person. Again, candidates have options, and they're not going to wait around on you to make a decision or to schedule an interview or to schedule an on-site. They're gonna take another offer if they're in that, or if they feel like they're in that situation with you. So again, I would evaluate your own hiring process. If you're having trouble finding good, high quality technical talent, then use high quality technical resources to help you find the talent that you need. Again, there are talented people out there. You just got to know how and where to find them. Again, headhunting is reactive. You want to work with someone who, again, can be seen as a trusted advisor, someone who's going to coach you through the process, someone who's going to, give you honest feedback about your resume, about your experience, and really try to formulate that and put that in a way to where they're going to put you in the best position to land somewhere, to get the job that you want based off of your needs, wants, and qualifications, not just to fill a job. And, if you're in a facility now where, you've got a tremendous backlog, which if you're in manufacturing, if you're in industry, you probably do have some sort of maintenance debt or maintenance backlog, consider using staff augmentation to help you work through that. We're seeing that a lot. So we have companies that will call us up and say, hey, we need 6 maintenance mechanics and we'd like them for 6 months. Well, that's great. We can go out and find and source those people for you. But we like for you to have a, contract to hire. So at the end of the 6 months, if you found somebody that's just a superstar, somebody you really like, we want you to hire that person full time. So, and that makes it more attractive. So you can bring in Again, hopefully, find that superstar, someone that's going to come in and do a great job. And at the end of the contract, you get them on, you just onboard them and hire them on full time. That's exactly what we want. You can also take advantage of contract SMEs, subject matter experts, to help come in and train up your existing staff. And that's one thing about our industry. There are so many people out there who are willing to share their knowledge and their experiences in order to help make others better. So take advantage of those types of people. Have them come in and train up your existing staff, like maybe your planners, do a train the trainer kind of thing, do a mentorship. Your schedulers, your MRO storeroom owners, all those people, all good areas where you can come in, make use of one of these subject matter experts and you help kind of set things straight and get things on the right path in those areas. So with that, I think we've got just a minute or two for some questions.
Yes. That was a great presentation. I definitely have a lot of questions, but before I ask my questions, Bob Latino has one, and his question is: post-pandemic, what would you guesstimate the mean time between jobs is? How long someone stays at a new job before bouncing?
Yeah, I would say on average, what I'm seeing, that's a great question, by the way. I would say on average, the resumes that I'm seeing come through is about 2 to 3 years. Because kind of the sweet spot right now, I would say the greatest need is if you're a reliability engineer and you've got 3 to 5 years experience, you can pretty much go anywhere you want to go. So we're seeing a lot of resumes within that, say, I would say the 2 to 5 years experience. So you're getting people, out of college, they're going out, they're developing some skills, developing some experience, and now they're ready to take kind of the next step in their career. So that's just what I've seen on average. Now we have seen some other folks that are, and again, it depends on the position. So if it's a higher level, say a corporate level, director level reliability position, obviously someone that's going to be applying for that, they're going to have a little more stable work experience. So I saw one recently about 2 weeks ago where someone was applying for one of those level positions, and they had been with the same company for 18 years. So there are, when you're at that level, you've got, you can be a little more patient. You can wait for the right opportunity to come along. And obviously that's going to extend your tenure at your current place of employment.
Great. And there's also another question from Bob as well. So he states that you came from a provider type company to a talent management company. What has been the biggest surprise to you versus what you expected to encounter in such a business?
That's a great question, and I get that asked a lot. So again, when I meet people, they say, "Oh, that must be quite a change for you." But when I first thought about it, yeah, it was a big change. But then I thought, hey, it's still offering solutions. It's still talking to people. It's still being a resource for people. I've talked to a lot of the same people I've got to know over the last 19 years, but in turn, I've met a tremendous number of new people that I wasn't already connected with some way or another. So, I guess this change was going from a product company, service provider company, to now, more of a service-oriented type company. Before, where my product was a PDM tool, now my product.
I believe we might have just lost Adrian. But at any rate, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of LRVS 22. And if you have any questions, Adrian's email is on the slides, and this is already recorded. So if you have anything you want to ask him directly, please rewind the video so you can get his information. But thank you all for watching, and thank you for tuning in. And hope you have a great day or a great evening, depending on where you are. And hopefully I see you in another session soon. So have a good one. Bye.